So for today's video, I decided that we are going to talk about the differences between the white-lipped python and the Australian water python, two snakes that look kind of similar and can act kind of similar and whatever, come from a similar area of the world. Just kind of show off my male southern white-lip and one of my females. Of course, as far as the Australian water python goes, of course she's in shed. So she's not as vibrant as she would normally be, but it's still a nice side-by-side comparison, which I had my friend's son here. He wanted to help with the video, so he's going to be holding the southern white-lip and I'll be doing the Australian water python. So stay tuned and check it out. So as I said, we're going to talk about the difference between the southern white-lip python and the Australian water python. So Lyric there has my male southern white-lip, and I am going to get out the female water python right now. And we'll see how cooperative she is. She can be real flighty, so hopefully she's in a mood to cooperate. It looks like she's starting a shed cycle, just based on the colorations that I see here. Please don't bite me. Be nice. Even though she is going, you got to stay in the shot there, Lyric. Stay over. She's not gonna. I'm not gonna let her bother you. I have her. You worry about him. So she still looks very iridescent, as you can see, and they do have the yellow bellies here. But her belly's not very bright right now because she is, I think, like I said, in a shed cycle. So if you notice, you're all right. So she is in a shed cycle, I think. So you can see that still her belly's yellow, whereas the white-lip there has a white belly, which is one of the biggest contrasts. Usually this belly would be very vibrant yellow. And there is a Meet the Collection somewhere with her, and also she was in my top 5 species video. So if you watch either one of those videos, you can see the more vibrant yellow there than she's showing today. Just go figure, I go to make this video and she's in shed. Just kind of how it works with snakes. But the white-lip also has a much broader head. So if he will put his head into the shot, let me see, I gotta keep her from deciding to take, there you go, Lyric. All right. She's getting close to having enough here, but these guys have a much more narrow head, which is much more like a lot of the other Liasis species. These guys, obviously the white-lips are not Liasis, so they are different. But she has a much narrower head, and they're both pretty flighty snakes in general, especially if something freaks them out. They're both apt to kind of move very quickly, herky-jerky. The white-lip's been out for a while, so he's much calmer right now and behaving much better. When I first took him out, he was very flighty, and then I put him into the holding tub. He went to the bathroom in there. He did strike at me once, which he's probably struck at me about 3 times in his life. It's just when he really gets freaked out, but as soon as you pick him up and get him in hand, he just lets it go. He might musk, but that's about it. She hasn't musked me before. I don't think any of my Liasis have, to be honest. He's good, just let him do his thing.
He's fine.
Yeah, you can shift your arm, you can move. It's not gonna bother him. Just slide up and just, whatever you do, just move confidently and not too fast. You'll be fine. Okay. Hi, bud. That's just me. But yeah, he, you know, you can get them kind of close together. You can see the heads are different. He's got that much thicker, like, jowl area, if you will. Same kind of narrow snout, plus he has what they call the white-lip. Obviously, he has those big white pits there, whereas hers, you know, are much smaller, but they do have a white chin as well, which you see on a lot of Liasis stuff there. I don't think she'll let you catch the chin in the shot. But both very iridescent animals. She obviously is at a disadvantage right now, being in a shed cycle, but you can still see that they're very similar as far as being iridescent. She's dulled out. You all right?
Yeah.
Here, shift towards me a little bit too, so you're staying in the shot there. I want to make sure.
But
his head's right there. He's fine. So, you know, both are really cool species to keep. The white lips are a bit more sensitive. These guys are much more like other Liasis where they're a little bit hardier. They're still not, you know, like a short tail level of hardiness, in that, you know, if a short tail's well hydrated and you forgot to give it water for like 5 or 6 days, it's not going to kill it. These guys, that would be really, really bad. A white lip would be dead probably in a day or two. These guys might last a little bit longer, but not much. So hydration is really key with both species. And with both species, you can really tell how well hydrated they are and how their humidity is really based on how they look. Olive pythons are the same way. Right now she's not a good example because, like I said, she's very dull and going into shed. So you're not really seeing the normal way her scales would look. He's a little bit on the dry side for where I would want. So I'm gonna bump his up a little bit. Obviously, with recently doing the mite treatment and stuff like that, I switched all of them to paper, things like that. So I'm having to manage that stuff a little bit differently than I normally do with them. And so through that process, you know, he's been a little bit drier than I would like. But you know, you have to kind of mix and manage based on what you're trying to work on. So getting rid of the mites was obviously priority one. Neither one of these snakes have had mite issues, and hopefully it stays that way. Obviously right now those are pretty knocked down. You know, I haven't seen one alive in about a week or so, so hopefully it stays that way. I'm still staying on top of, still continuing to treat. That's the biggest mistake people make with mites, is all of a sudden they don't see one, so they just stop treatment. You want to treat a little bit beyond that, make sure you really break that cycle. He's fine.
Oh, it has like a little bump that's sticking out somewhere.
I'll take a look at him after. I mean, he has his spurs, which might be what you felt. Oh, I don't want you around my neck.
Okay.
I don't trust you that much, sweetheart. You're being really wonderful, but let's not push it.
Tight.
So, Australian water python, southern white lip. Hopefully you guys can see the difference there. Try to turn his belly out that way a little bit, Lyric, so they can see. You know, that's really one of the biggest contrasts besides the heads, are those bellies. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Which one do you prefer? Have you kept either species or both? Behaviorally speaking, I would say the white lips are a little bit more high strung, whereas the Liasis can be a little bit more defensive. Just pure defense, just kind of whatever. Both species are more apt to be defensive in their caging than when out. What's the matter?
I don't know what it's doing.
He's just moved.
I know what I'm using here.
All right, you got him. So we're gonna wrap this up. Make sure you hit those comments and let me know what you guys think. Thank you to Lyric for helping me with this video, and we will see you later.
I look like a complete idiot.